Welcome to part 5 of the 2023 NFL Draft in Review. This has been a good long time coming now. It took about a month off due to some hectic ongoings, bad weather, felt under the weather for a good number of days there. Hopefully I won't take this long to do another one of these videos so we can hammer out the NFL Draft in a somewhat timely fashion. So today we will be taking a look at the Cincinnati Bengals class, which my initial impression of is that it's kind of it has some odd spots where Bengals kind of looked like they weren't really doing the best that they absolutely could, but we'll start, of course, with their first round selection, Myles Murphy. And off the bat, I'm not really awed by this stat line. The tackles for loss is very good. That suggests that he'll be pretty good in the running game, which in a division like the AFC North is going to come in really handy. You've got obviously the Ravens running game, even though it largely centers around their quarterback. The Steelers with Najee Harris, and the Browns with Nick Chubb. And to a lesser extent, Deshaun Watson, should he start to recapture some of his form. So having a guy like this could work out pretty well for run stopping. But when I took a look at the roster, though, it does appear to me that Murphy is potentially either a bit of a stash him for a year or two player, or the Bengals are getting ready to lose a few of their older pieces because obviously they have quite a few younger players that they're going to need to pay in the near future. They have said that they want to keep T. Higgins. They're obviously going to have to throw boatloads of money at Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. So that's kind of where I see Murphy fitting in. He could either be a longer down the road guy, or he's the cheaper to pay now, so that when you have to pay everybody else, you still have a good team afterwards, sort of thing. So we'll not come over to the highlights. Maybe dump the volume a little bit more, because YouTube can be very fickle with its microphone sensitivity. And here we go.
2nd and 10 for La Tech. McNeil to step up, pressure from behind. He's going to be dragged down by the Tigers. As they get to the quarterback, that's
down.
Myles Murphy. When all is going well,
it's All-American runs the quarterback down from behind.
Rush up the field. This is just great pursuit.
That's the sort of pursuit that I would like to see on Patriots. From someone who's not Matt Judon.
And now a sack back at the 41. That was Myles Murphy again. A flag is out. The ball is out, and it's a turnover. At the end of the play, Murphy knocked it loose, and a takeaway with 47 seconds to go.
Yeah, Myles Murphy gets around the left tackle, Scott.
Estime into the game. Pine drops. Trying to scramble away. And
good job coming back to the ball on that one.
The talent in front of Clemson gets home. It's Myles Murphy with an early sack.
I wouldn't even say this is necessarily a bad play by the tackle. He just gets disengaged at the wrong time.
Let's see if they do take a downfield shot, trying to move the sticks. Now he's going to be swarmed and sacked again. Pass rush got him. That was Myles Murphy, the talented defensive end. He's capable of taking over a game. Hasn't done it really so far this season, though.
He sure has that ability on the edge, but look at the coverage downfield.
It went straight up in the air. It wasn't his fault. They have injuries at running back. They give it to Zay Flowers immediately, and he's run down from behind by Myles Murphy.
Our thoughts and our prayers are certainly with the Brzee family.
Tigers on top 10-0 here in the first.
Very good job getting
the
under the
look to
block
keep it on
there,
the ground
pushing
here.
it back into the running back.
Now Travis faces a 3rd and 8. They don't want to waste this good field position. Tigers rush 4, but they flush him and sack him. That Clemson pass rush imposes itself.
I I'm a little surprised that this guy didn't go a little sooner, maybe, because this is the sort of player that I would have wanted if he had fallen to the Patriots. Some of these quarterbacks have looked like they have at least, enough speed that they could get away from somebody who's slower than Murphy is. And obviously, in context of the Patriots, that's something that we sorely lack, and it really kills us anytime we come up against a team that's got a mobile quarterback. So, for the Bengals, like I said, it's going to be hard. Having taken a look at the roster, I won't really speculate on the depth chart or anything, at least not immediately. It's hard to say because you've got, I believe, let's see here. Yeah, you've got Sam Hubbard. Cameron Sample has done reasonably well. You've got Trey Hendrickson, obviously. So it really depends what they want to do with Miles Murphy here. So I'd say that I would say that it's likely that Murphy's probably going to be a quality backup maybe the next year or two. We'll see what free agency does to this Bengals defense. They're obviously trying to push for a Super Bowl while they've got a window open. And this is a pretty good pick for a team that could potentially need to shed some cap space in the future. I do believe there's probably other spots that could have gone here. The defensive backs they had their holes, and that's something you don't want when you've got to, beat teams with receivers like Stephon Diggs. But overall, yeah, I'd say that one looks like a good pick so far. So next we have cornerback DJ Turner, and I'm not anticipating liking this pick because in the end, this is the team that lost to the team that got washed like 63-7 in the national championship. So, right off the bat, okay, the tackle number is low. That suggests that he's good enough that people don't really want to target him unless they have to. But then you look at the interceptions versus pass deflections, 17 versus 3. That is really, really not something I want to see. Because there's deflecting passes that you don't really have a chance of catching. That's a good play. And then there's pass deflections where it basically completely missed the receiver. You should have caught it, and you still didn't. And I don't see too much of the first group in college football. But we'll go over here and see if I can identify them. Chronological highlights. Doesn't say a number. Let's see. 5. All right, so we're looking for a 5.
6 of 10.
Yep, up there.
Quick receiver screen. Nowhere to go. Well played on the corner by DJ Turner. He was not taking requests that time, DJ. Millen, ball comes loose, and it's going to be an incomplete pass.
Yeah,
No,
that's not a promising thing right off the bat. Bobbles the ball. Yeah, it's a fumble return for a touchdown, but he didn't bobble that. Yeah, picking it up. So I have a feeling I know what group he's fallen into when it comes to pass deflections versus interceptions.
Lost his job to Tom Brady back in 2001 as Zion Turner runs right and gets knocked out of bounds after a gain of 5.
I wonder what call that highlight.
Here's Tagovailoa. Over the middle. It's intercepted. DJ Turner.
That's a good play. In the NFL, well, that probably goes for a good bit of return yards.
His intended receiver, Copeland, and that's what allows Turner to dive in front and get his hands on that ball. Did he corral that? I don't know, Gus. I do not know if he maintained control or if that...
2nd and 21 at the 26.
Petrus
lines up. Almost intercepted. Wow,
That,
DJ Turner.
that's what I'm talking
In this
about. Let's see
coverage,
this
he's just
again. Where's
reading the eyes
ball?
of the quarterback the entire time. He's able.
Yeah, that is something that you cannot do in the NFL. That has got to be an interception because that is points. Unless the other team has someone really fast, close enough to you, that is points. And that is points, not on the board because you didn't catch that ball. So,
Able to break down on that outside route from Reganey, and he almost had that in his hands.
At 14 at the 43. Baseline. Seam route. Caught. No, incomplete.
that's a bit better of a deflection. That's
Slot, trying to get right up the
just
seam.
popping the ball out
Actually,
of
Turner
a
comes from the
pretty good
outside
catch.
From his corner position,
That
falls
would
off
have
of
been.
his route, and he's there to make the play.
Back to playing our game. I like
up
what
there.
I'm seeing so far.
On first down, Clifford looking to throw it, and he'll just dump it at the feet of Brenton Strange. First down to the 39. Penn State moving quickly. Clifford goes through his progressions. Almost picked off. Wow, DJ Turner.
That's what I mean. That's another one. That is another one. Hit him smack in the hands. I'm sure you've heard video games say it, but that's why they're playing defense. That's just no. He's got, I would say, good enough instincts to potentially be a pretty good coverage man, but in the NFL, quarterbacks are not going to make that sort of mistake. At least most of them are not, and especially not with any regularity anymore. So, I think he could be a good coverage man, but don't expect this guy to put up any sort of interception numbers. This is the guy that swats a 3rd and goal inside the, That's what that reminds me of. He's the guy that swats a attempt at a touchdown on like a 3rd and 7 at the 18-yard line. The other team gets a field goal because this guy's on your team. But in terms of really changing games, I don't think this guy's it. I don't really think that this is the guy that, say, you're at overtime against the Chiefs and you need to pick off Patrick Mahomes. This is not the guy that does that, I think. So, bit of a mixed bag reaction from me on that one. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. So, next we come up to safety Jordan Battle. And from the initial position readout in terms of Wikipedia here says that they're going to put him at strong safety. The Bengals don't really have anyone else listed to that position, so far as I can tell, based on information available to me, this guy is a day one starter. So, seeing tackles that never really get consistently above 71, not really being a threat in the run game, pass rushing game, coverage game, really anything, I'm not impressed by that stat line. So I'm going to give him a chance because this is Alabama. If anyone in college football knows how to make defensive players in the NFL, it's Nick Saban. But I'm not expecting to be wowed.
Motion is Mon is going to flip it out there. He's wide open if he can get a block. And wow, did he get deposited?
Good tackle. He's going to save the first down, but on that sort of play, I would like to see a safety be about 3 to 5 yards closer than he was. Got to be able to read those plays.
Alabama battle knocks him.
That's more like it.
Releases it. The ball is knocked away.
That's how they decide who they've got. This time, Battle sees the crossing route and jumps it.
Instead of leader, he didn't care about the throws. That's one of the reasons he continues to develop guys.
That's a good, that is a very good play there. Read it perfectly, undercut the route, and it's virtually impossible to tackle guys that manage to pull off an interception like that. Good play.
Terry Wilson throws it to the wrong team, and
if that had been DJ Turner, he already would have dropped it.
So quarterback
from the 19.
And it's Johnson this time. Keeps his legs churning.
Results.
Rogers. That ball
Bad
is
pass.
intercepted. And on the return is Battle. And you can mix.
I will say he does seem to do a pretty good job of returning the ball when he gets it in his hands, so this could be your, potential game changer. If this guy's playing, he gets it in his hands, he knows how to run.
Jordan Battle and
another conversion. Play fake. Howard hit as he throws downfield, and it's picked off at the 21-yard
That's another one.
Intercepted by Jordan
Followed the
Battle.
quarterback's eyes pretty much the whole way.
Down the sidelines.
Just tracked the ball, picked it off.
By the veteran Jordan on the other side of the field. Sideline warning.
Very bad pass, but, you still got to catch him.
Quick slant, man, hit, but it's short.
The first down.
They're giving him the first down, didn't they?
Like and a half. Good protection. Here's a downfield shot. Neighbors. The
Battle has the ability. Boy, he's hauled over him.
All right, so let me go back up here because I know he's probably going to be replacing one of these guys, Von Bell or Jesse Bates. That is going to be a pretty tall task for really anyone, especially a rookie coming in. But he does look like he could at least make that hurt less, so he seems to have pretty good instincts. There's some aspects that I think he could be coached up a little bit on, in terms of stopping the run. Obviously, after the defensive line and linebackers, it's usually the safeties that I would look to make a play on a running back, and for that you've got to be a little closer than Battle usually seems to be. So, yeah, like I said, I don't hate the pick. I don't like the pick, but in the context of what the Bengals are trying to do, it should be a tolerable pick unless he just absolutely flops. So next we have wide receiver Charlie Jones out of Purdue. This one mystifies me because really, why do the Bengals need more wide receivers? I just don't get it. Now, he didn't really have that good of a college career till he wound up in Purdue. 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. Pretty good season. But the first big hurdle to this guy is the fact that you are, from the start, wide receiver 4. It is no contest. You are wide receiver 4. You are not beating Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. That is just the long and short of it. But there have been a couple injuries here and there to those three. So having a reliable fourth option could be good for this team. But I just can't help but feel that this is just unnecessarily extra. You're trying to kind of mask a defense that has its problems by just going pure offensive firepower. And with Joe Burrow, hey, I won't discourage that. The more fun it is, that just makes it more fun to watch defenses try and keep up with the Bengals offense. But I just can't help but wonder where Jones really fits into any sort of scheme here. Again, I'll go for Andre Eosivas as well, because the other receiver they drafted, but we'll see. Here we go.
O'Connell again. He's going down field. He's got Charlie Jones. Charlie Jones has got a touchdown.
It is
hard keeping up with the Jones.
Defensive back.
It's on first down.
Lockerbie picks up the blitz. O'Connell time. Jones wide open. Inside the 10. Touchdown Purdue.
Also, for the Ohio State and Michigan fans that may or may not be watching this is why I don't respect your conference from the standpoint of defense. A receiver as good as Charlie Jones should not be wide open. I know it's Indiana. Usually the Hoosiers suck, but that is no excuse. Your conference is fucking dog shit when it comes to playing defense.
60-yard strike. O'Connell to Jones once again.
The safety like that and make a play on the ball.
O'Connell to throw again. Sets his feet. Long ball. Jones wide open. Touchdown.
Indiana State, a little more understandable. I've never even heard of that
going deep.
Negates the interception. Purdue stays on the field. O'Connell floats it. It's caught. Touchdown. Charlie Jones.
Solid catch. Maybe not the most, well thought out
what
pass.
What can he do in this situation?
It works.
He's going to go deep. He's got Charlie Jones. He's got it again. O'Connell on the slant. Throws a dart. Jones keeps his feet. Jones to the end zone. Touchdown.
That's a little bit of agility and balance there.
O'Connell looking left, throws. There's Charlie Jones in space. Charlie Jones is free.
And here's what I mean again. The Big Ten showing off its defensive prowess.
Tight end Payne Durham in motion. They fake to Maccabee from the end zone. Looking for a bunch.
And there we go again. Iowa. Another one getting burned.
Play. Purdue moving the sticks.
Puts the list up and they check off everyone they got. He said it's amazing how many they check off each Monday.
This one caught. Charlie Jones.
Straight up beaten again. No problem.
Second down and 1 at the 45. Play action. Here's O'Connell. Winds up. Sideline. Open receiver. Got him at the 25.
Oh, do you miss that tackle? I'm pretty sure that's Penn State.
He's confident. He's taking his time.
3rd and 5. Over the middle. Jones. Bullseye. Charlie Jones wrapped up and dropped.
That was in the backfield. Second down and 6. O'Connell to throw. Maybe.
We got highlights of every other school in the Big Ten.
Touchdown!
Iowa again.
That is Charlie Jones. The fastball by AOC.
Can you tell I don't like the Big Ten conference?
O'Connell
I do not respect
steps into his throw. Back shoulder and it's a catch.
Overall, I like how Charlie Jones looks. He doesn't seem to be the most amazingly fast guy, but at wide receiver, he ran a 4.3 40. That's all well and good, can catch the ball. This guy looks more like he runs a 4.4 40, but he catches the ball just on basically anything. He knows how to move around. He knows how to get his hands in the right place. So, overall, I like what I see here. But in the context of the Bengals, again, they have 2 guys who would be number 1 receivers for pretty much the entire rest of the league. Okay, maybe Jamar Chase wouldn't be the number 1 guy for a team like the Vikings, a team like the Bills, the teams that got guys like Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, but that's where he is. He's in that top 5 status. There's only a handful of teams he wouldn't be the number 1 receiver on. Same goes for T. Higgins. He's only not the number 1 receiver on the Bengals because Jamar Chase is here. He would be number 1 for, I would say, at least half the league, if not more, if he weren't a Bengal. And then you've got Tyler Boyd, who is a perfectly serviceable number 3 option. Maybe Charlie Jones could replace him if he really shows out and impresses the quarterback and coach often and early. But just from the drop, that is a mountainous hill to climb to at best be number 3 until either Chase or Higgins gets hurt or leave. So this is one of those players that I would say probably forget him for the next 2, maybe 3 years. We'll see probably like 2025, 2026 with him on a different team if he can just keep his head up, keep trying, eventually settle into a new place and become something there. So this is one of those picks that maybe it becomes something for somebody else, because I don't really see this becoming something for the Bengals. So next up we have one that's a bit less head-scratching, because the Bengals don't really seem to have a secondary running back anymore. So the selection of Chase Brown doesn't come off as a particular head-scratcher, but this is one that, depending how he looks, could turn out to be you probably could have signed somebody for better results. But off the bat, though, looks like he did pretty good in college. You know, averaging 5.3 yards carried. Obviously, that's not going to happen in the NFL. That'd be ridiculous, but still a good sign. So, 1,600 yards, 10 touchdowns as a senior. He should, I would say, fit in pretty well as a backup to Joe Mixon. And so the Bengals fans might hear this name a little bit through the year, but let's go over to highlights and take a look.
To midfield and breaking tackles is
Good
Chase
little bit of
Brown.
power and speed
It's only
there.
the second time in the game.
I do like that seeing him running
Here's
back.
to throw. Hits Brown on the outside. Great block to free and loose. First run.
Barnes back in play. Outside zone. They'll stretch it out. And there goes Brown. Another big gainer for Illinois. All the way to midfield.
He seems to have a good eye for where the gaps open up. Enough power to step through one guy and enough speed to beat the next two.
He displays it on the first play with 38 yards. Now DeVito's first pass is a touchdown.
Good catch.
Quarter, Illinois up 24-6 and trying to add to that, and they will with a walk-in touchdown by who else?
Sit in there and use his legs as a check down.
Brown again through a crease. Inside the 20 for Chase Brown.
Brown is a breakaway. Chase Brown is off to the races, and Brown is gone.
Here's another 1st and 10. Brown being good for Illinois and Chase Brown. Touchdown!
Weakness defensively was stopping the run. You see the
that one kind of looked like he was missing just enough of a gear to get the extra step to go in untouched.
Here's Chase Brown again.
Enough power to just push those extra few yards.
He's all the... Sikowski flips a screen out to the right to Chase Brown. And they pick up the first lead of football game.
I got further. Quarterback didn't overthrow that.
Scores. And it's the Illini.
Loaded backfield here. Just all kinds of space.
Gain of 3 on that play. Every single play so far in this first drive has been a run play, because you can get stuff like that. Brown pushing his way across the 15.
Actually, I want to check. What's this kid's size? 5'11", 200. That's surprising. He looks like he's got a bit more power than his size would suggest. So he could be a bit of a deceptive little one for the Bengals to occasionally pull out of the back pocket when Joe Mixon needs a breather. So we'll see where that one goes. Next up, we've got the second receiver from this class, Andre Eosivas. Or at least I hope I'm saying that name right. I'm not anticipating he'll have a... Yep, didn't think so. Let's see if I can find a stat line real quick. This might take me a minute. Stats. Stat line. NCAA. Let's see. Okay, so, I don't know, he's special in terms of a stat line, which obviously I expect. It's a Ivy League college. They're usually not the best for producing NFL players, but we'll see where this goes. Maybe he'll impress a little bit more than what the stat line suggests.
Trey Gray motions. Davidson looks his way, but instead he's going to go over the top. Looking complete. Touchdown, Yosevash. The sophomore from Hawaii, 13-0 Tigers. Another one right on the mark from Davidson. Stenstrom going to go to the air, has Yosevash again. Same matchup, and this time it's a Princeton touchdown. Fifth touchdown catch of the season for the senior, and the Tigers strike first 3 minutes deep into the second quarter. Stenstrom, Josefas, there he goes, creating some space. He could go down the far sideline. Down in 3. Tigers have converted 1 third down on this drive. One-on-one. Josefas, great positioning.
This is about what I expected. This is a very raw player in my eyes. He would need substantial coaching to really do anything at the position in the NFL. But he does look like he's got a good bit of speed, so maybe stash him as like a special teams guy. So let's... Of course, this is kind of a day and age where special teams is increasingly going by the wayside, so that isn't really saying too much for him. So we'll move along to the second to last selection, punter Brad Robbins. And from best I can tell, Brad Robbins is just kind of a unflashy pick. Let's sports reference. Let's see. Yeah, see. Career average, 43 yards per punt. That's not bad. He doesn't have the same booming leg that I would really prefer to see from some ones. And his games played do kind of go up and down for whatever reason there. But this is just going to come down to who the Bengals want to roll with. Because the other guy on the roster hasn't really done much in the NFL, I guess you would say. He did get off 28 punts through the last 2 years, and averages almost 5 yards more than Robbins did, so that's not exactly great for him. Almost half his punts down inside 20. So this one's just going to come down to who's better at controlling the ball, really. That's just going to be what this comes down to. I wouldn't be too surprised if Drew Chrisman wins, because from what I have seen of the... Because punters can be a little hard to find anything to watch, so that's why there's not up there. But from what I've seen of Robbins, he seems to be very consistent and a bit consistently underwhelming in that regard. So, like I said, I don't expect Robbins to win that. He might, but I'd be a bit surprised. And the final selection is cornerback DJ Ivey. And due to the relative thin pickings of this position, I won't say he doesn't have a chance. And he at least doesn't have the same massive pass defense versus interceptions problem that DJ Turner has. So that's already one notch on the board for him over the other corner they drafted. So let's see some limited highlight reel stuff here.
Play caller.
2nd and 12 for Travis. Has time to set up and go downfield into coverage.
Missed the receiver entirely. Good job to pick off that pass.
DJ Ivey. What a play by Ivey.
It felt like Miami's defense had to make a play. Florida State dominated the first quarter. But 18 seconds in, the second belongs to the Canes.
Offensive line to play fast. Cunningham the pass. Into the end zone. He's picked off.
Another poor throw, but like I said, you still got to catch him.
Cunningham throws the ball right to him. A simple misfire and an easy
back to the seam. Our quarterback thought it was going to be open. Pick 6.
That might be an interception for
I'm
Miami.
not really sure where that ball was going, but it didn't work.
Blocked, and the Canes have a chance. 20, 10, Wiggins with a blocked field goal. An electric play, and Miami suddenly has life, exactly what they needed.
Miami comes with a rush. Popped up in the air, and on the carry, it may have been intercepted.
This into overtime. We saw Dunn hit from 53 earlier. Hockman off the tip, and there's the first turnover tonight. Intercepted by DJ Ivey for Miami.
So, like I said, that's another player that you just kind of take the flyer on and see if he does something, and that's potentially the sort of player that does, in the end, end up being valuable for the team they end up on, or valuable 3-4 years down the line. So that's one to keep an eye on. You might end up hearing the name again, depending on how things turn out for him. Overall, this class isn't great. There was really too much kind of going to sleep on day 3. And they had 5 selections, 2 wide receivers, a running back, a punter, and another corner. The wide receivers are just extra. I don't really see Iosivas as NFL material. Jones might be something for another team. Brown is a good depth selection. Ivy could be a good depth selection / potential future starter. And Robbins could be a starter, but he's going to have to beat somebody who's got a better leg than he does. So day 3 just kind of looks like the Bengals went to sleep, and that is the sort of behavior at the draft that I don't approve of. You've got 7 rounds. The more selections you have, the more opportunity you have to get more good players that could, for the team like the Bengals, who's already almost there, that could put you over the top. Those extra selections, if you can hit on 2 of them, that could put you over the top. That could win you a Super Bowl in the end. And thus, going to sleep in the late rounds, it's like you're denying yourself extra chances to make your team better. The first 3 picks should be pretty good. Myles Murphy looks like he could be a near instant starter. DJ Turner and Jordan Battle should be instant starters, if not very near to instant starters. And overall, they do look like they'll be pretty good players, aside from DJ Turner's problem with his hands being slathered with fucking butter. But this is a team that is behind a few other teams right now. They shouldn't have destroyed the Bills the way they did in the playoffs. That is not going to happen again. That is not going to happen again in Buffalo, no less. You can't hope that half the Bills' defense is injured by the time you have to take them out. You are able to beat the Chiefs, but they can still beat you. The Chiefs proved in that AFC Championship game that they are still the better team. The Bengals might have had their number for the previous matches between them, but the Chiefs stood them up when it mattered. And ultimately, the simple fact remains is that the Bengals, they're going to have to pay some people really damn soon. They're going to have to shell out a lot of money for these guys. And that could start to degrade the quality of the team around them. That could lead to the spiral. You're in a division also that has teams that are known for not going away. Pittsburgh has been good for most of 30 years. Baltimore has been good for most of the last 15, if not 20. These are teams that even when they look weaker, they don't look like they're going to fade away. Even the Browns, if Deshaun Watson can shake the rust, the Browns will be a good football team. This is a division that you can't just sit on it like the Patriots did with the AFC East, what the Bills are doing with the AFC East now, what the Eagles are probably going to do with the NFC East as well. The 49ers are going to have their chance with the NFC West. And that complacency, in my eyes, is why you don't really see a lot of those teams consistently getting over the hill. The Bills have struggled to do anything since taking over for the Patriots. The Eagles, they won the Super Bowl, and they made it to another in recent memory, but these people say that they're the best team in the NFL. I don't agree. The 49ers, they should have won a Super Bowl, if not 2 at this point. Having a division that doesn't push you can allow for drafts like this. You can afford to slack off a little bit, but the Bengals are not in a division like that. They're in a division that should continue to test them. They're in a conference that is very difficult to get out of, no matter who you are, because this is a stacked conference. There are like 6 or 7 teams that could be seen as potential Super Bowl level squads. So, like I said, I don't like them backing off in the late rounds like that. I would give this class probably about a C+, B-, somewhere in there. It really depends on those day 3 guys. If one of them, maybe 2 of them, can step up and really do something for the Bengals. Otherwise, we're going to be talking about, well, that guy was practice squad fodder, or in the case of, I believe, Charlie Jones, it'll be, well, he didn't do anything for the Bengals, but then he got to a team that doesn't have receivers and emerged as a top threat. So, but that is going to do it for today. I'm going to be experimenting with kind of a a video on one day, a break day, a video day, break day, that sort of schedule, to try and keep a more continuous flow of content going out the door. But like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, thumbs up, hit the notification bell, follow me on Twitter, the whole 9 yards as I get back into the swing of the end video promotion. And the next team up, as I recall, is going to be the Ravens. That ought to be interesting. There's another team that I do not respect the overall management of.